Hello everyone, welcome back to Airdrie Public Library Virtual Programming. Today I have another Makerspace Mystery for you guys. So we're going to be taking a look at this cool little cube gear here. And once again, Makerspace Mystery is completely 3D printed and completely free for anyone to come by and pick up these little puzzles or toys or things like that we make once a month for Makerspace Mystery. This is called the Cube Gear, and this design is done by someone named Emmett on Thingiverse. And just like usual, I'm going to take it apart, and then we are going to learn how to put it back together. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, so we have a couple of different pieces here. We have our main core. We should have 8 little pegs here that will go into the holes in the core. And we have 4 small gears and 4 big gears. Each of these gears have a little hole in the bottom as well for those pegs to go into. Okay, so before we start putting it together, I have a pair of pliers here. And I'm just going to take these little pegs and crush the center of it a little bit. Just squeeze it. Not enough to break it, of course, but I just want to make that centerpiece just a little bit smaller than it is. And I've gone ahead and done that for all of these already. And this, when it fits into these pieces here, just having it that little bit smaller will help it freely rotate a little bit more and be easier to use. And if you put something in wrong, the pliers really help with taking it out. All right, so I'm going to start with just putting each of these pegs into the core, one at a time, and then we can worry about the complicated stuff later. But don't worry, it doesn't get very complicated. So each of these should just slot into here. You'll hear it click, and that's how you know it's in there nice and good. Now these small ones go on the small corners and the big gears go on the big corners. So the first one doesn't really matter, we can just kind of plop it on. And then I'm going to want to line up these edges with the corners of the core as well. So now I'm going to take this, and then actually that's not true. I want to actually line it up so that these edges point towards the pegs, because this one, when this one goes on, I'm going to line this one up so that they create a line. And I'm just going to go through and do that with all of the other ones here as well. Snapping them on together, just going one by one and making sure that it's nice and lined up to create this cube. Because if it's not lined up, then no matter how much we rotate it, it won't go back to this cube position. And the last one. Perfect, so that's that. Super easy, our cube here is done, and we can rotate it a little bit and see how it kind of twists and deforms into this star pattern. And if we keep going, it comes all the way back to being a cube. So an interesting thing about gears is that they all have a ratio. This gear relationship here is in a 1:2 ratio. So that means for every 1 tooth on the small gear, there are 2 teeth on the big gear. Now that also means that every 1 rotation that the big gear makes, the small gear goes around twice. So you can try that out yourself. Maybe you put a little red sticker on one side of this gear and then twist it around and count how many times it goes around for every 1 rotation of the big gear. All right, well that's Makerspace Mystery. These things are available at Airdrie Public Library. We are still open for curbside pickup, so you will have to call ahead of time and let them know what you want, but Makerspace Mystery is completely free as long as we still have our Makerspace Mystery bags left over. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.